is being recorded.
So good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Sagar Kapoor. I'm a part of customer success team at Tableau, and welcome to VizConnect. So VizConnect is all about connecting you with the art of data visualization and storytelling. So it was started with the help of one of the Tableau ambassador in India, Divya Bharti. And Divya Bharti and I really wanted to go ahead and help our community connect with the Tableau champions and Zen masters across the globe. So that is an initiative which we started in May 2019. And so far, we have done 26 sessions. We have got 33 speakers. Out of the 8 of them are Tableau Zen Masters. We have close to 4,000 attendees so far. So all the sessions which are presented in VizConnect, we have a YouTube channel. They are all uploaded to it. So if you want to go ahead and search the library, we'll share the link for that. And we have an awesome LinkedIn group. So if you want to connect with each other, if you have any doubts or queries, you can connect with everyone. And this has been possible with the help of all these amazing people who have taken their time to come and present on VizConnect. So thanks a lot for that. So as I was talking about, we have a YouTube channel by the name of VizConnect. Go ahead, subscribe to it. We have some amazing content for you and let us know your feedback about it. We have a LinkedIn group also by the name of VizConnect. Go ahead, connect with each other, start your interactions with them, and some great tips and tricks are waiting for you over there. So coming back to today's session, right? And I think we are a data company. We want to understand how exactly is the impact of VizConnect, right? So this is, and you must have seen once you have registered to VizConnect, there are a couple of questions which we try to collect from them. The first question was all about, is it your first, have you attended the VizConnect session before, right? So it's amazing to see that 78% of the people, for them is the first VizConnect session, right? On the right, you can say that we had close to 428 people who have registered for these sessions, and they are joining us from across the globe. And the one important thing for Tableau is that you should always have a Tableau public profile. And I'm amazing to see that 53% people have their Tableau public profile. And today's speaker will talk about why it is necessary that you should have a Tableau public profile, right? And the next thing is all about just to make our sessions more impactful, we try to understand which version of Tableau desktop you're using. So let's go ahead and let me introduce you to today's speaker, right? So her name is Judit Bekker. Judit is a data with expert at Starkim Unlimited, a company that believes data has the power to change the world. She started experimenting with data visualization around 2015. Her passion is mixing analysis, graphics, UI and UX design on a common platform. Her hobbies include cycling, reading, films, and anything related to arts. The fun fact about her is that she decided not to grow up and still building Legos. And today she will talk to us about how you can make a dashboard using Adobe Illustrator and Tableau. Without further ado, Judith, over to you.
Thanks for the introduction. I saw you already made me a presenter. I hope everything's gonna be fine with it because it's my first time using WebEx as a presenter. Hi everyone, I'm Judit Bekker, and today I'm gonna talk about how you can combine Tableau with Adobe Illustrator to take your data viz design to the next level. And I'm really, really grateful that a lot of you registered to this course. Even my mom is here, and she doesn't even speak English, but she's way too cool. And she's so proud of me that she didn't want to just leave this out. So hi, mom. So at first, I'm gonna say a few words about myself. Then I'm showing a couple of tips and tricks that will be followed by a live demo of these two tools working together. So just to kick it off, if you know me from If you know me from Twitter or Tableau Public, this is me. If you know me from LinkedIn, this is me. If you know me personally, of course, I'm that girl with the biggest smile on her face. But actually, after spending 30 days at home due to this quarantine thing that is going on everywhere in the world, this is me right now. So who am I? First of all, I'm a really proud Star Schema employee. I joined the company about 2.5 years ago. And I would probably say that Star Schema took a leap of faith in me when they hired me as a database expert. Since at that time I was using Tableau and Power BI like actually never. I was just playing with them at the time, so I can't thank them enough for hiring me, and I just couldn't ask for a better company and team to work in. Second of all, and this is going to be the big reveal, I'm a data muggle doing magic, which I would like to call a con artist, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm not that tech savvy, as you will see it later on. So many of the things that you will see, you might have thought that they are in Tableau, but actually they are not in Tableau. So we'll just jump into that right after the introduction. I'm a notorious trash content visualizer. This is one of my hobbies. I do infographics about various topics like the Queen's corgis, the most popular eye colors, how much money has Kevin spent on his New York trip in Home Alone 2, which, by the way, I know by heart. The next thing to know about me is that I'm a not so anonymous film and series addict. You probably know that I have some dashboards in this topic, so it's not a secret. Last year's big project of mine was visualizing all the books I've read in the past 10 years. So for 2020, I'm tracking all the content I'm watching for an end of the year dashboard, and I'm already over 200 hours of watching. That makes me feel half ashamed, half scared about the end result. Of course, I'm the biggest fan of the Futura typeface and also a Captain Obvious, because that's what I'm using here right now as well. I do feel invincible when riding my bike, and I do it every day from spring to autumn. Only storms and whirlwinds can stop me. Also, my brother is a bike builder and collector who is now living in Germany, but left me with approximately 60 bikes on the attic, which is kind of cool. I'm a heavy reader, having tons of literary crushes. You can even count them, the biggest one being the Count of Monte Cristo. So dibs on him. I'm also a 32 years old Lego builder. I got the Hogwarts castle from my mom for my 30th birthday. And last year she brought me the Apollo 11 lunar lander. I guess she really made peace with me refusing to grow up, and I just love her even more because of that. And the last thing, that I guess the last time I was bored was around 6 years old. I have tons of ideas in my mind, definitely more than I can cope with, but at least they let me sleep sometime. Actually, there are a lot of people whom I wouldn't be standing here without today. And in fact, I have more personal cheerleaders than all the NFL teams combined. But there's this one guy who pushed me the furthest, and his name is Tamás Varga. I hope he's in the call right now, because I like nothing more than a little public praising. So who is he? He's a former colleague. He's a guy with the most twisted humor that cannot be substituted. He's a soon-to-be father of two who is doing each and every single Makeover Monday challenge while having a full-time exhausting job. And as you can see, he's someone who has way too few followers compared to how cool he is. So I just want to make sure you follow him on Tableau Public and Twitter, because he really deserves the fame he's doing an incredible job out there. So let me just take a sip of water, and I'm gonna just continue. Okay, so there's one thing I like even better than public praising, and it's public self-shaming, because I think that's how we learn. So brace yourselves. Here comes my first ever infographic, and it's just terrible. This was around 2016 when one of my friends asked me to make him an infographic for the local manufacturing company for an article on the occasion of making 1 million hair dryers. It's in Hungarian, but that's the least problem with it. So let me just list a couple of things I got wrong there. So first of all, I'm of course using too many colors, and they are all vivid. They are not really in sync. I'm also using inconsistent icons and pictures, which I would never do, as I'm really into minimalistic and modern design now, but that was the way to start. If you have a closer look, you can see that these axes are not at all synchronized, and I'm just counting the flaws I made with this. But let me just take it away. But despite of everything, I really like this visual, because it was the starting point of getting me here. So I just want to show you where I get my inspiration from. Yep. So just to start out with mood boards, I usually do Pinterest, but Behance and Dribbble are incredible sources of inspiration as well. And sorry, I'm just gonna show some examples. I hope it's gonna work. Yeah. So what I do is I collect Pinterest boards for UI design ideas, color schemes. I have a database section where I get inspiration from, and it's as easy as it seems. So you just pin the ones you like, and if you have an inspiration drain or a lack of ideas, you just hop in there and just collect some ideas. I even shared this on Twitter before, but you can have your own, or if you ping me, I will send it over. And if you collect some pins here, if you click on more ideas, it will list tons of more similar design to what you've pinned before. So it's a really cool stuff. Let me take that away. Okay. And just to show some of my examples, let me show you that I found this image, a portfolio of Nadine on Pinterest, and without this visual, there would be no this. These are some of my visualizations I did a couple of weeks back, and I'm really into this framing design right now. This is not an original idea. This was something I saw on Pinterest, and I might be overusing it, but until I find something even better, I will keep doing that. So I think this looks incredible. The other example I have is this graphic design. There was a makeover challenge around 3 weeks ago, and I was just looking at the data set and had no ideas. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. It's no good to force it. And then I saw this on Pinterest that led me here. This is from data analysis point of view, nothing. It's just a simple area chart, but I thought, hey, it will look cool with a big typeface with the name of the university, and then have an area chart over that on how the course offerings changed over time. So yeah, Pinterest is a really great place. For fonts, as I mentioned, I mainly use Futura, which is not a free font, but us Eastern Europeans have our ways to manage that, which is not a good thing. But if you're looking for free fonts, Google Fonts, I think it's the best place to search for. I really like using Open Sans. That's a really great type kit as well. So make sure to download that. It looks awesome and it's a web safe font. But Defont and Font Squirrel are also as good. One thing to mention here is that why I'm doing so much of the work in Adobe Illustrator and not in Tableau is because Tableau is only supporting a couple of web safe fonts. Like, I don't want to say anything silly, but it's around 12, I guess. And I just don't really like them. And the ones I like the Tableau fonts, for example, but they are not available in any outside sources. So I can't use them in Illustrator, for example, if I need to. So that's why I'm using Illustrator and custom fonts, and then try to hide everything on Tableau, like with show and hide filter panels and stuff, so that it wouldn't spoil my design. For images, I mainly use Pexels, but Unsplash and Pixabay are just as good. For colors, I use Pinterest also, and Adobe Color Explorer is a great tool. There are a lot of great palettes there, and the good thing is that if you have an Adobe Creative license, then you can download it straight software using Creative Cloud. So it's really cool. But I'm really into gradients right now. I don't know if they are on the rise or it's just me, but I am really keen on them nowadays. And there's a site called Gradients, which is, I think, the coolest place to look for gradient design. You can have a look at how and what they are using, and then just apply it to your visual. It's a really great stuff. Yep. So for learning, I think one to learn from, his name is Daniel Walter Scott. He's the owner of BringYourOwnLaptop.com, and all his courses I did on Udemy for a couple of dollars. I took an intermediate and advanced Illustrator course from him, Photoshop one, even Adobe XD. He has a lot of hands-on exercises. He has a great way of building up the lectures. So I would really recommend buying a course from him if you are interested in learning Illustrator or Photoshop or any other Adobe product. So first hands-on exercise, how to make your own color palette from images, because this is what I do on a regular basis. I think if something looks great as a photo, it will really look great with a color palette too. So let me just hover into Illustrator and show you how I steal colors from pictures. Yeah. So I already prepared this canvas, but I will show you later how you should start working on a project, but this is for a demonstration only. So there's this cool eyedropper tool here, which works the following way. So if I hover over anything on the canvas, it will take its color. So let me say I just want this pink color, then a little lighter pink, something like, okay, let's make it that. And something blue. Okay, a darker one from here, and maybe one more lighter shade from here. So I think it's cool. That's what I used in some of the visualizations I did before on whether money makes us happy or not. It was a Makeover Monday exercise as well. And just to show it in another example, how cool it could look if you take the right photo to the to use colors like that. Yeah, and maybe something from your hat. Yeah, so that's what I do when I'm doing visualizations, or I use the colors that I like the most, but they were selected the same way as this. And if you want to use, for example, that color like regularly, and you want to have it in your palette, and you can add it to a swatch, and you just click on Add New Swatch, and you can name it like Girl on Fire, and it's going to be there at the end of the default color palette. So it's just as easy as it seems. Let me just close it, because my computer will crash if a lot of things are gonna reopen. So next thing, how do I start working on a project? It's a really simple answer. I start with sketching, and I would advise you to do the same. Without sketching, I don't know how many of my projects would be done. So let me show a couple of examples. So I have this ugly sketch in my workbook, and this was the first design that I made with this framing style. So without this sketch, there wouldn't be this visual. So the middle one is the thing I did in Illustrator, and the last one is the final design combined with Tableau. So you can see here that before jumping into any software, I had the design ready on paper, and it's really easy this way, and saves you a lot of time if you do that. Another example is a recent one, this Coachella 2020 visualization that I did to show how many films and series I have streamed while staying at home in the past 3 weeks. And I used the Sankey chart here. I was inspired by Yvette Kovacs, who is a colleague of mine, and she's a data designer goddess. So check her out if you happen to don't know her already, but I'm sure everyone knows her. And the template I used was from Ken Fleurlage. They have really cool tutorials, so check them out too. But without this sketch, there wouldn't be a visualization again. The middle one is what I had in Illustrator, and the final design in Tableau again. And the last one I have here, because it's the most recent one. And I had a look at the Makeover Monday exercise on in the early hours of Sunday. But I didn't have any idea about how to go around that. It was about unpaid work, and I had the idea or the feeling that women are doing much more unpaid work around the world than men. But I was like, okay, if I have the idea, I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'll skip it again. At night, I was reading a book. And the idea just came that, hey, why don't you do an alarm clock thing? And I converted the numbers into hours and minutes. And I was like, hey, it's going to be impactful to show something on an alarm clock. And it was like, I guess it was around in the evening. I started sketching, and I finished this visual around midnight. But again, if I didn't have this idea, there wouldn't be any Wiz. So I really recommend you to start sketching because it's great, and it looks ugly, but it's a good starting point. So the tools I use in Adobe Illustrator, it's really all the things you have to know and even more. So I use the eyedropper tool. This is what I show you. This is for stealing colors. I also use the artboard tool to set up your canvas. I'm just gonna show it in a minute. I use the rectangle tool to draw shapes. The ellipse tool is for drawing circles and so on. This we'll be having a look at in a minute. The type tool for creating texts, the gradient tool for creating cool effects, the shape builder tool and the curvature tool is that I'm not using that much for working in Tableau as doing infographics. But the shape builder tool is a really great one. It's for combining shapes, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So, sorry, I need to open a couple of more stuff. So please bear with me. Let me show you the visual that we are gonna recreate today. So this is the one that's gonna be in focus because this was really easy. So that's what I'm gonna start creating and then show you how to put it back into Tableau. And there's gonna be another one to show you how to do layers with, which is pretty important to use it with Tableau. So let me open Illustrator and just create a new file. Then a window pops up to prompt you with choices on artboard sizes. I usually do custom stuff, and for this I chose a really silly size. It was an artboard having 842 pixels of width, and it was the height was this. Don't ask me why. I just altered the way it is. So if I click on creating this, you can see that this is the artboard and this is your canvas. So if you export it, it's gonna export the artboard that you are playing with. If you realize, which was probably the case for me when I came up with this silly one, you can modify the size of the artboard. This is the artboard tool, and if I start just dragging it on the side, it's gonna be modified. So don't worry if it comes up later, then you need something wider, it can be always altered. So let me just show you quickly the shape builder tool. So we are doing a rectangle here. This is the rectangle tool, and make it, I don't know, blue. Okay, and I need a circle too. So I'm drawing a circle. Let's make this pink. And I'm just gonna duplicate this. Okay, so to show you the power of the shape builder tool, which is here, this one is that. Let's state that I don't need a circle and a rectangle. I want to make it a combined shape. So what I do is just I drag the mouse over them, and now this is this shape. The other way around that is that I don't need a circle. I want the rectangle without the circle. So again, you use the shape builder tool, hold Alt on a Mac, and I guess it's the same on a PC, and you just take that away. And here it is, a custom shape for you. So It's a really cool stuff. Go try it out. I'm not gonna use it here. So let's start with doing this rectangle tool, which is gonna be my background. And I always use this almost black color. And I don't need a stroke. So what I'm gonna do here is that I call this my background layer. Okay, it doesn't matter. And create a new one on, I don't know, let's call it things. And the reason I'm doing this, because I just want to lock it so that it won't move, because it's going to be bothering if you have a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm just clicking on it and lock it to the canvas. And I'm gonna do my stuff on the other layer, the things. And that would make everything so much easier. So this is a type tool. And as you can see here, a text appeared. It's really small because it's the default now. So let me just write here the title, the culture of how we behave. Okay. And then I hop into this properties panel and change it to white. My choice of type, of course, it's Futura. It's Futura condensed medium. Anything you install on your computer will be fed in here. So it's really automatic. And I want to make it real big, like 42 points, 48. And just if I want to transform it this way, it's going to be no good. If I want to make it smaller or bigger or two lines, it's not going to work because it just cramps it. So what you do now is that you click on this this bubble, 2 clicks, and then it makes it convertible. So that's exactly what I need. And I want the text to be justified. And there I have it. I just want to drag it here. Okay. It was somewhere like that. Okay, then I'm just gonna need a line with this line segment tool to have a subtitle. If you hold Shift, you can only draw lines in these angles, and it's pretty cool because it doesn't let you mess up. And I want to have this stroke size 2 points, and the color I'm using a lot nowadays is 7C45DO. Yeah, and I'm just want to have the line to have rounded caps. Let me show what it means. So right now, this looks like a really like a rectangle, basically. But if I change the caps to rounded ones, then you'll see here that it will have these nice edges. Yep. Okay, so here comes the subtitle. And if I use the eyedropper tool now, it takes the features of anything I click on. So it's really cool, but I need it to be somewhat smaller, like, I don't know, which was this, maybe 28. Okay. So here I have the subtitle as well. Now, there are many ways of managing the frame, but I'm going to do a rectangle. And okay. So here's my rectangle tool. Okay. Just make it a little wider. Okay. And then I'm going to send it back on the canvas, because what I'm going to do now is that I want it to be a circle, a purple outline, but nothing more. So I again click on the eyedropper tool and take this line I've already done. Click on it and everything is fine. It looks just like I wanted it to look, but I don't want it to be under my text. So what I do is I drew another rectangle like this size. Again, I take the eyedropper tool and I just want to have the features of the background. So I'm clicking here, sending it back, and sending the frame even further back. So right now it's trying to, yeah, so it's looking cool now. Then I have a small text here, which I already copied. Okay. So this is the text. I want it to be, I don't know, 14. Okay, and I don't want it to be condensed medium because when it comes to really small text, it just you just cannot see it. So it's gonna be a simple medium, and I want it to be white. And I just do a double click on this icon, and here I have it. Let's make it even. Okay, smaller, but this is not really readable. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna increase the line height. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe it was 21, and I want to be the text to be justified with the last line, a line left. And I wanna use no hyphens, so I just click out this hyphenate thing. Yeah, looking cool. I'm just gonna skip a few things to cover up the basics. So that's what I did. 6 rectangles. Maybe it's gonna be great. Okay. I want the outlines. If you hold down Shift and Alt, you can it while staying aligned. So that's how you copy it. Okay, doesn't matter. It's gonna be enough for this demo. And I use a technique where I put the legends here on the charts. So that's what I'm gonna do here now. This legend is called, I guess, in the visualism. No, the other way around. So I want this to have the features of that one, maybe in a little bigger. Okay. So I'm just gonna rotate it in 90 degrees. I can do this way, or if I want to be precise, I can switch it here, and there are a couple of predefined options. So I wanna just do a 90 degrees. Yep, this will do. And I want to have a rectangle like this here. So because it's in the right place, it's under everything, but in front of the frame, I just gonna copy this because it inherits everything from that rectangle. And I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay. So I had 2 legends here as well. One of them was collectivism. If you now click on twice on this icon again, this will make the process back. And this is what I need right now. So I just need this little text box. I'm gonna just copy it because the other end of the scale is gonna be individuals. Sorry, I'm not saying anything more about the context of this Wiz. You can look up Hofstede on the internet. He's a really great sociologist, but I just don't want to waste time on that. So make sure to hop onto the internet and Google him. Okay, and I think the most exciting part of this Wiz was that the gradients I used, because I wanted to make sure that it really stands out where the middle of the line is between collectivism and individualism and the other dimensions. So what I did here is that I did an other rectangle on top, and these ones First, I exported it with these rectangles because I wanted to make sure that everything is aligned in Tableau, and I had charts exactly the same size, and then came back to Illustrator, deleted these containers, and only left this one. I'm sending it back. And Illustrator has a lot of disgusting gradients, so I don't use those, but you can alter them. That's what I use, the fading sky. And if you hop onto gradient options, I changed the direction to, oh, it was, I guess, yeah, it was 180 degrees. And just use my, I should have added it to swatches. 7C45D. Okay, let me make it copy it. Okay. Yeah, so this was the final design, and I did it on all elements. So just not to waste time, let's hop on to Tableau to show you what's in Tableau at first. Sorry, it takes a lot of time to open, but I'm sure it will. So what you're going to see in Tableau is basically nothing, just 6 scatter plots on a plain canvas, nothing else. And that's why I told in the beginning then that it's somewhat a con artist's job. So yeah, that's what's in Tableau, which is not that much. So what I'm going to do is just, I add a floating image. Wait for it to pop up. Yep. Make it fit and center. Okay, where is it? Yeah, and it's that one. Adding it. And then sending it back, floating order sent to back. And the position should be, which was it? This should be the exact size of the canvas. So it should be synchronized, and then I hit tab. Yeah. So it adds up to this, which is pretty cool. I think these tools, the collaboration is match made in heaven. And let me share another thing. I won't go into the details because I realized I don't have the time. But no, don't save it. There's this other Viz I did. This one. And I just want to show you how much of this is in Tableau and what is not. So this is a Tableau file. Please open. I'm opening up in Illustrator as well in the meantime, because it's just really one click to show you. Okay, so this is what is done in Illustrator, Illustrator Tableau, so only the dots and the tooltips. And what I needed to do here is that I exported this image and put it back as an under layer in Illustrator to draw over that. So to Illustrator, this was done almost 90% of it was done in Illustrator, but how I did it is that I had this Tableau layer. I added the exported image on this layer, which was this one. Yep, I logged it. And this way I could draw over it. And when I exported the image, there's this eye icon, and I hidden the Tableau file and only exported this one and put it back to Tableau. It was just as easy as the other one. So it has a more friendly size that I know by heart, because it was standard one. Okay. Final in Illustrator, yeah, that was the one. Okay, and the layout is just 0, 0. Yeah. And then sending it to back. And here it is ready. So it's that easy to make something like that. And Sagar asked me to do a little challenge, and just 1 minute, and I'll head over to the question sections because I like answering questions. So if I just get back to the PPT, yeah, we already did that. So I just want you to try out using Illustrator or Figma or anything that resembles that, because Figma is a really great tool and it's free. And everything I showed you in Illustrator works the exact same as in Illustrator. So it doesn't matter, just I so want to see who's behind the Wiz that I created this this little template of mine. I'm gonna just post it on Twitter, and if you do the same, then tag me, and I'd be more than happy to see who you are. So what I did here is that I listed a couple of things that is to know about me. Apart from that, I do data visualization. And the only thing I did here is that I used a text, I rotated it, I drew a line, I put a picture here. All the colors are from the picture with the eyedropper tool. I used some type tools, I aligned them, and I just did a quick drop shadow on these rectangles I drew. So it's really as easy as doing it in 3 minutes. So if you have the time and want to practice, because this is more than enough for designing something to put back into Tableau, then I'm gonna be happy to see it. So I'm just gonna give the word to Sagar. I don't know if we have any questions, but I'm happy to answer.
Awesome, Judit. Thanks a lot for teaching us that data visualization indeed is a creative process. I think thank you for just driving it through how exactly you visualize and just sharing with us what are the best practices you share. We have a couple of questions for you. The first question is on the BB Viz, are the Tableau dots fixed or floating?
Sorry, I couldn't catch that.
I think you showed one of the BB Viz, right? In that So you showed two Tableau dashboards, right? So in that particular dashboards, the dots were fixed or it was floating over there.
No, they were fixed. So one thing to know is that these methods I'm using, some of them couldn't be done with the data changing. So the whiz I did about the series is a one-time one. So if the data changes, it would spoil all of my design. The other thing is the one with the social model that could have been updated anytime because I knew that the sizes of the scatter plots fit. So that could be a thing that could be used for corporate reporting, but the other one is a no-go. So it was just for mental masturbation and marketing stuff.
Okay. And how long did it take to you to learn Illustrator? Did you start with Udemy or like where exactly you learned that?
I did start on Udemy and I did 2 8-hour courses from Daniel Walter Scott, but if you want to use it with Tableau, you are not going to be a graphic designer, you just want some cool tips and the general knowledge, I think it doesn't take more than a week because you just can't overload your brain with information. But if you go through an 8 hours of exercise, then it should be no more than a week. So yeah, the curve is really, I don't know how it should be, flat or really, no, there's a steep learning curve. You learn easily.
Perfect. And I think as we had a discussion about your introduction, you work with star schema, right? So do you want to share like I think this is personally you're doing, right? You're going ahead and participating Makeover Monday, then you're spending a lot of time using Adobe Illustrator and then taking back to Tableau. What happens when you're creating a business dashboard and things like that? What is your approach over there?
That's a different question. Just I saw here that can I repeat the name of the free alternative of Illustrator? It's called Figma. Let me. How should I? Can I chat here? It's FYGMA, Figma. Okay, so for business dashboards, it's a hard topic because I have dreams on how a business dashboard should look like, and I already did a visualization of how my enthusiasm curve looks like when I got a business project, and we end up pretty far from what we imagined in the beginning. So I'm not always disappointed in the outcome, but I really like more to work for myself.
Perfect. Perfect. So I think my question was more in the lines like what I assume in a business dashboard, the time is very less, right? You have to go ahead and basically deliver a particular dashboard to someone, right?
Yeah.
So will you advise people to go ahead and use Adobe Illustrator for those scenarios? So yeah, just wanted your thought on that.
I do have some examples. If we, I can answer questions in the meantime, but share it on. Um, so I do make business dashboards. Sorry, they are in Power BI because when we were starting business dashboard samples at Star Schema, I got Power BI. So you can see here that this is a margin data overview. This is a business case, and I think it's a. I mean, the design is really minimal here, but it adds a little twinge to it. So this was this is what was done in Illustrator, and this was the final product in Power BI. And this could be something that that can be refreshed every day, and the graphics will remain the same and serve this purpose. I have, yeah. For example, this was done partly in Illustrator as well. These KPIs and metrics. These two, I have this template, and then the churners and the clients on side by side. This is my favorite, the utilization dashboard. This looks pretty cool, I guess, even for a business dashboard, but you can see here that most of it is in Illustrator as well, because I start sketching, I have the idea, and then put it back as a background, but it's completed in a BI tool.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I think we have a couple of questions for you. I think the first one, can you repeat the free tool which you were telling about? It was Stigma, right?
Which link?
The free alternate tool to Illustrator. What was
Let
it?
me just. It's called Figma. It's a okay. It's a UI design tool, but you can export pictures from here as well. So I don't know. I was practicing with this Chef app design. Oh, it doesn't matter, it's a mobile design, but we have the same features here if it loads. Yeah, so if I want to draw a rectangle here, it's here up in the top. Uh, Here's this eyedropper tool as well. I'm just showing it really quickly just to tell you that it works this way. Stroke, I'm adding, I don't know, maybe it should be 3 effects. I'm gonna drop shadow on it. Maybe it's better on. Yeah, so everything looks exactly the same here. It's just that I fell in love with Illustrator, and it has to offer a lot more when it comes to more complicated jobs. But for Tableau background design, Figma is just as good.
Awesome. Okay. And I think I will just take the last question. Can you talk about how important it has been for you to participate in Tableau community events and having a Tableau public profile?
I think it's much needed to have a Tableau public profile if you want to succeed in this community, because if you tell that you are a database expert but you don't have a portfolio because you are doing an incredible job for businesses, but of course you cannot show what you are doing because the data is confidential, then no one would believe that you are capable of doing incredible stuff. So I would recommend everyone to use Tableau Public to show off skills, because that's how you got landed into really great jobs in community events, in presenting in cool places like this. Get recognized. So I think it's crucial if someone wants to be a data visualization expert to show his or her skills on public.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Judy. I think thank you for presenting on VizConnect. I think thanks for inspiring everyone. I think whenever I go ahead and see your Viz on Tableau Public, I always get inspired with that. So just few of the things want to share with everyone. The first thing is just the first thing is that we want to go ahead and invest in you. So the Tableau e-learning is free for the next 90 days. I will encourage everyone who has not created the account, just go to tableau.com, go to learning, go to e-learning, create your account. It's free for the next 90 days. Go ahead and make a most use of it. It will help you out. Add your badges. I think it will be a great learning for everyone. Go ahead and utilize this opportunity. Go ahead and create your Tableau public profile. Don't forget to follow Judit Bekker. Some amazing content is waiting for you. Go ahead and check it out. As Judith mentioned, Thomas Berger, go ahead and follow him as well. Some amazing content waiting for you all as well. And with that, I will see you on 15th April. We have Steve Wexler, one of the Tableau Zen Master Hall of Fame. He will be talking about why do we see so many bar charts. You will get the invite on Monday. I hope you all stay well, be at home, and take care of yourself. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Bye bye, and have a great weekend.